Well, I think I have everything in place, and I am ready to dress the loom. So you'll notice that, of course, the camera focus is on the loom, the back side of the loom. There is some debate as to some people like to dress the loom from front to back to front. I'm not quite sure because you both use the words back and front. This may sound silly, but I'm not sure how the actual way I do this. I do know that we're going to remove the reed, open up the heddles. We're going to put the rattle in place, and you'll see that the yarn is going to start at the front of the loom and get wound onto the back. I find it's very straightforward. So let's do some things. First thing we're going to do is we are going to put the rattle on the back beam, and we're going to, well, do the other things I mentioned. I'm going to remove the reed because, not that you have to remove the reed, but it is kind of in the way while you're dressing the loom. So I just raise it up slightly, angle the reed out, there we go, pop it out, slide the support system back down so it's now out of the way. Now I have all this extra space because at some point I'm going to be coming in this direction. Okay, we're also going to separate out, there we go, the heddles. So we have a window here. Now some people dress their looms and they have all the heddles to one side. I can't do this with this loom because it has a support system right in the center of each of the, right here with the heddle support system. And I'm sure somebody will correct me on the name of that. But I can't slide them all the way across one side or the other. So we'll just tuck them out of the way. There we go. And I'm going to put the reed up and out of here. So let's if you watched any of the other videos, you remember Reese made me a homemade rattle, which is absolutely wonderful and fits my loom beautifully. And we're just going to secure it in place. I'll go this way. There is a way to do it one more and it'll tighten up and stay tight. Again, that's the whole, for the most part, I can do everything on this loom on my own. I have found that, though, excuse my tripping over words, I just made myself a latte, so that is way too loose. We're going to tighten that up. I have to use another piece, but that's okay. There we go. My family is gaming downstairs again. It is Sunday game night, so the strangeness you're hearing downstairs will continue. And that's okay. We're a gaming family for the most part. Gaming and crafts and that kind of thing, so I'm very happy to hear laughter and fun downstairs. Go. That's still got far too much give for my liking, so I'm going to tie it up over here again, just because I really don't want that to move while I'm busy. This is more about putting temporary support systems in place so that things don't move on you when you need them. Okay. Yeah, it's better. Not great, but better. So there's that. Next thing we're going to do, move stuff from up top here. We're going to put 2 support systems here so that we can suspend the lease sticks over here so that when we're putting the warp on, we can be guaranteed we have a very clean warp and the fibers are spread out and even and not all bunched up and all over the place. So we need the lease sticks to hang about where the center of the heddles are. Take into consideration weight and all of that. Like that. Want that doubled. We need 2 of them, 1 for each side. There we go. 1 for each side. Now, I'm a pretty frugal person. However, I decided early on that these extra pieces that are used for support, and oh, that's way too long, and whatnot, are not ones I was going to worry about when it came to the yarn. So I just use a yarn that I picked up at a yard sale for very little, and I almost messed up there. So it's an inexpensive way to have the supports. Good. And that's just about approximate. That's what we're looking for. Now, lease sticks, I have them together with binder clips that Reese has drilled a couple of holes, and you'll recognize these from the other sticks that I just finished sanding, but these ones we got specifically to hold the warp in place. So we're going to put this down for a second and set these down because it's time to actually get the warp. Now remember, we've chained this so that the end with the crosses, remember where we put the crosses, is at one end. And then, so we can put them through and just lay it across temporarily. And because you've chained it, even though I just kind of flumped it down, everything is in place, everything is secure, and you can undo the chain very easily. And just there. Next thing you want to do is put the lease sticks in place. That's going to keep the cross open, and that's going to keep things nice and neat. Help. The rattle does that too. One stick in each area of the cross. There we go. You can see the fibers are all set up there nicely. I put my ring back here. And then in the support structure. And then we can open up this one as well. and have it suspended. So that's the first piece of support that we have for your warp. Okay, now we have the end, which we did bind off. I want to find that different color yarn. So we have that supporting and separating all of the fibers. There we go. Make sure we're not, there we go. That's all nice and neat. I have a dowel down here that I'm going to slide through. And this dowel is going to help support the threads, and we're going to then start separating them out and using the rattle to separate it out by inch, and we're going to get there in just a second. All right, so now there's a couple ways to do this. Last time I did something that was a little more severe. I took elastics and I just wrapped them around on either side, and there she was. But it made it difficult to separate this. So I think what I'm going to do this time is try and... I have an idea. Grab my elastics. They're right here. Still going to do what I did last time, but that's just going to hold them together temporarily, like another set of hands. For a moment. There we go. So now it's attached to the back apron, and I do note that my brake is not on, so we're going to put the brake on. There we go. I'm actually going to utilize some more of this pink yarn, and I'm going to attach it a little bit looser in a couple of different spots so that I'll be able to spread this out and make it nice and neat. But I needed to be able to keep them together while I did that, because there's only so many hands that I've got, right? So let's cut up some more of this pink stuff. Test the length. Not like that. Not long enough. Not a fan of not being able to control what I'm working with. Then I'm going to grab one more for the center. I'm sorry, this seems kind of tiresome, and I probably should have had these set up ahead of time, but this is part of the process, guys. This is part of the learning process. It's part of the working with the yarn and learning how it feels. And there we go. All right, so now I have a loose one and I have them tightened. I'm going to now take the holder yarn off of the end, and I'm also going to take off my elastics. And you'll see, there we go. Now I've got some distance. And it's not perfectly straight, it won't be. I will fix that later. What I wanted, I got, and that is tension down here so that I can, I'll do that a little tighter. Okay, I'm going to be picky. I shouldn't need to be, but every once in a while, you know, you got to do what you got to do, right? Better. Balance is a good thing. Okay. So what we're doing here is we're going to separate out the yarn in groups of 8 from the outer side so that they will sit in each of these. And I think we need to undo the cross to make this work because I need some more distance. But the cross is secure, so we don't have to worry about losing it or anything like that, right? Oh, that gets stuck. I don't tend to get stuck very much, simply because I problem solve constantly. Now, because of the lease sticks, right, we can easily just give a little tension on this side, push this forward, and now we have more space over here to work with, and we can space things out. We can also see that with each cross, I don't know if you can see that, I hope you can, I can move them over into the correct section. Now, finding the center. I can see the center of my petals because there's a support system. So that makes it really easy for me. So I can say that this is the very center of my work. Now this is a 10-inch scarf. So we're going to go over 5 inches on one side and 5 inches on the other. So, and it's 5 sections, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to start over here. And we're going to take 8 of them in here, 8 of them here, 8 of them here. You see where I'm going with this? Okay. So let's do that. I'll take the first 8. And that's 2, 4, 6, 8. And put them here. And that'll all come over. 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 2. Do I have it crossed? I do. Look at that. See? It's about paying attention also to where your yarn is sitting, because sometimes things get overcrossed a little bit. There we go. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so making progress. I will finish this and then I'll be back with the next step, because you don't need to see me counting. You now see it and you can see what's going on here. I'm just making sure these are all laying out properly. Look at that. I love it when the yarns are going in the right direction. Okay, I'll be back. Sorry, Wave. Let me move that.